I want to say right at the very beginning, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to start saying it at the beginning.
If you're watching this on YouTube, do it now.
Yep. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, hit follow, hit subscribe.
Yeah.
Whatever button is there.
Yeah.
Do that. It's not hard. It's real easy. You just go.
Where else are we?
You go like this.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yep,
With your thumb?
With your thumb on the YouTube.
Okay.
If you're watching on your little YouTube app, you just hit subscribe button.
Okay.
Just like that.
So you subscribe with your thumb, but if I'm holding it horizontal, I'll probably use my forefinger.
Maybe. You could.
Because it'd be really weird if I thumbed it while holding the other one.
That would be weird.
If I subscribed.
Don't thumb it if you're holding it sideways.
Subscribe with whatever hand digits you want.
Whatever hand digit or your mouse or your mouse click. So I want to say that right up front. I also want to say this. This hat that we're wearing, okay? It's in process. The order has been placed. They're gonna be made.
Can I go on there and pre-order it right now?
No, you can't do that yet. But here's what you can do. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, hey, I really like that hat, I want to get my hands on one of those. Go to thesoutherngentleman.com.
Yeah. And
there's a little form there where you can subscribe to our email community. Subscribe to that. Put your email in there because those people, they're going to be the first ones to get the link.
Yeah.
They're going to get the link to buy it first. And this is our very first one. There will only be 24 of these available to purchase on the website. That's it.
24?
24. That's it.
That's not a lot.
That's not a lot.
Okay.
It's not a lot.
Okay.
We're small. Listen, I don't think we want to make a bazillion hats.
I agree. But if I'm thinking of the listener right now and thinking, okay, what can I do without a pre-order link that will take my payment that guarantees me this hat? I would send an email. I would message you on Instagram and say, here's my name, here's my address, put me on the top of the list.
Well,
would you allow that?
I don't know, dude. I mean, here's the thing.
That's how I would be like, oh, I want this hat. So I'm going to tell Chris, he's going to remember me.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not, though. I'm not, dude.
I get it.
It is.
All right, so
that opens up a whole other rabbit hole.
So when the gates open, it doesn't matter if you're subscribed or not. It's just going to be whoever clicks through first.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Okay, look. We will have 12 to 15 stores.
Oh, that's true.
In probably 4 or 5 different states.
You could get them that way.
Yep. And when they're out, we will tell you. We'll say, here are the stores that they're in, and you can go. If they have them,
that's a good idea.
You can have them there.
You can buy them online.
Right.
If you miss out, you can find a store.
Yes. Okay. But if you're like, I don't want to do that. Or I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell you, like if you're living in California or Michigan or, Florida even, like there's not going to be a store near you. We're going to have stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, North Carolina.
Do we ship to California?
We got to make that decision.
We got to.
I mean, we can, but I don't.
Put it on our. Let's talk about that in our weekly. Let's take that to the board.
I think we'll ship to California.
Okay.
But my only point, there are going to be 24 of these.
I hear you loud and clear.
You can come to the website. So if you want the link when they are ready to buy.
Got it.
If you want the link,
it'll get to you first.
It'll get to you first. If you go to our website, thesoutherngentleman.com, scroll down, you'll see a little form. Join the Southern Gentleman email community. Put in your email.
Man.
Subscribe, completely free. We don't spam you. We don't do any of that crap. But if you do that, you will get the link to buy this before anybody else gets the link.
You're a great teacher. You'd be great in a classroom. Oh man, this guy. He really walks me through it.
I always wanted to be
What an amazing teacher you are.
Really?
Yeah, man. I know exactly what to do.
I'm just saying. If we send that and they don't all sell, then we'll go to social media, do all that stuff. But right now, if you want the link, if we don't sell
24 hats, I'll be sad.
We're going to blow through 24 hats. But that's the whole point.
Okay.
It's like you got to...
V1.
Yeah. We're like, hey...
V.01.
We want to drop 24 of these things out there, and they go real fast. And then next time, we go, let's do 50 of them, or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, like, we'll ramp it up a little bit.
Do you have any more introductory topics or announcements for the community?
No.
Okay. Any stories that happen? Hey, I have a story.
Okay. I love
the
stories.
Day after we ended our episode last week about Buc-ee's with the mailbag question.
Yeah.
Settled the debate forever and ever. Man, I got haunted by Buc-ee's everywhere that day. I was flipping through a Nashville Lifestyles magazine. It wasn't even an advertisement for Buc-ee's. It was a picture of like a venue, an outdoor amphitheater, and you could see all these folding chairs.
Yeah.
I looked down. There's a Buc-ee's folding chair in the crowd. And then I'm at the chiropractor later that afternoon. You know who's getting her back popped?
Buc-ee's.
Some lady with a real tacky Buc-ee's shirt on. I mean, real tacky.
Really?
Oh, cartoon stuff everywhere. It didn't even make sense. It was just...
I think their merch is so great. I think it's so creative and original. It's delightfully tacky.
I couldn't believe the timing.
Yeah.
It started to follow me.
Well, but I think...
I think Chris he's doing this.
I have a theory about that. I think when your mind is switched on for something, like I can think back.
That's right.
When
if you're car shopping, you see that car everywhere. It's bizarre.
Exactly the thing. When I was shopping for Tundras,
yeah,
I saw every daggum Tundra on the road.
Right.
Now, I never noticed Tundras.
And when you got into those macchiatos from Starbucks that one time, you're just like, God, everybody has those macchiatos.
I never got into macchiato. I've never had a macchiato in my life. I don't even know what a macchiato is. What is a macchiato?
I don't know. It is the thing I could come up with fastest that would make you shake your head.
I have no clue. Have you ever had one?
Anti-man.
Have you had a macchiato?
No.
Be honest.
No, I don't know what that is. I've had a flat white. I've had a cafe mocha. I don't a macchiato.
I'm gonna need your man card.
No. I'm a Renaissance, well-rounded Southern gentleman. You would not have invited me on here if that wasn't true.
Speaking of,
never bring Chris Starbucks.
Here's what we're going to talk about today.
Let's go.
5 things that you believe, that I believe, we each have our own list.
Yeah.
5 things. Do we want to say that every Southern gentleman, or do we want to say that every man? Do we want to be so bold as to say every man should know how to do these things?
Mine's Southern gentleman.
You're going to go? Okay.
Mine's crafted slightly to the Southern gentleman.
All right. I'm all for that.
And then we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe it should apply based on our list. But some of these things you don't have to worry about if you're not in the South.
I will say this was more difficult for me than I thought it would be when I initially threw the idea out there.
I'm surprised.
I thought this will be a no-brainer. And then when I really started thinking about it, I was like, because here's where I got in trouble. A lot of things that I think a Southern man should know how to do.
Right.
I don't know how to do.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
But
that doesn't mean it shouldn't be on the list.
But that made me feel a lot of shame and guilt.
So do you have some stuff on here that you don't know how to do?
No comment yet.
I've got 1 out of 5 that I don't do well.
I've got one. So I've
got
6.
some honorable mentions that I can do.
I put down 6 just to be safe in case there was a double up or something like that.
Okay.
And one of them, I am not confident. I could probably do it.
I think I know what it is.
Well, we'll see.
Probably making love.
No, but I do think. Listen, we made a joker. I do believe every Southern gentleman should know how to make love to a beautiful woman who he is married to.
I agree.
Who he is married to.
Learn your lady.
That's right. Learn your lady. LearnYourLady.com. I wonder if that's available.
Oh, you're such an entrepreneur. Let's go.
Okay.
You go first.
Okay, I'm going to go with an easy one.
Okay.
I believe firmly
that
every Southern man should know how to grill a steak to perfection.
Okay.
Grill a steak. Now, the one
Okay.
caveat I'll throw in there, you could replace steak with piece of meat.
Okay.
So maybe you have alpha gal.
Oh my gosh, that's the first time you've brought it up. I feel so loved, dude. Man, I feel like you just gave me a warm hug.
Maybe you have something
Thank you for
going
that.
on in your body, in your system.
Maybe you're out there playing with the ticks.
That prohibits you from eating red meat.
Yeah, but you should be able to throw on chicken and know that it's 3 minutes on each
That
side.
you're
You
like-
should be able to do burgers. You
Yes.
should be able to do
And
the
it should
steak.
be delicious.
I agree.
And it should be done like you can't do it better than this.
I agree.
It should be delicious and well done. Not well done like
No.
cooking
Thank you.
temperature, but it should be really well done.
Right.
but not a well done steak.
Right. I had grill meats on my honorable mentions.
Okay.
So
you're just gonna
I'll take
remove
that one off.
Take that one off. And that's kind of basic. I felt like that was low hanging fruit. I feel like a Southern man should know how to grill a piece of meat of his choice and it be delicious.
That's good. You know the old joke, how the guy's sitting at a restaurant and the waiter comes back over. He's like, "How'd you find your steak, sir?"
I found it right here on my plate.
I found it right next to mashed potatoes.
you told that on the dad joke
Oh, I did?
episode.
God, that's a good one.
You said, yeah, Rachel and I were out at dinner.
How do you find your steak? Oh, it's right here.
It was really easy.
This is great. Okay, every man in the South should just know how to build a fire.
Oh, that's a good one.
You got to know how to build a fire.
That's a good one, dude.
And honestly, more than that, you got to know how not to build a fire, because there's nothing more frustrating than just seeing something that's a fire that's struggling. And you're like, "Ugh, I gotta.
Okay.
Should I help that guy out? We're in his own house or whatever." This is in a fireplace typically.
What about a fire pit?
A fire pit, absolutely.
Okay.
You need to know the mechanics of fire, right?
Which are what?
It's starter and oxygen. Those are really the only two things you got to like understand for it to work. That's it.
Okay.
The wood needs to be a certain amount of cure, but every man needs to know how to build a fire.
Cure means dried?
Dried.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't have
it's
too
not
much
gonna work.
moisture.
It ain't gonna work.
Right.
Regardless.
Right.
Unless you're like me in college and have access to lighter fluid.
Yeah.
So.
You're not a lighter fluid guy?
No, I'm not. I'm a starter log.
Okay.
I'm as natural as possible.
Yes.
But you're not going to go pick up little sticks and start it like you're in
Yeah.
camping or something, although that's sometimes necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to know how to build a fire.
And so walk me through it a little bit, because I will tell you right now, I think I'm pretty bad at that.
Okay.
I don't think I'm a good fire builder.
Okay. Well, you got the back log up against the back of the grate.
Okay.
He's important. He needs to be big and sturdy. You get the front log that has a gap in between them, and they're running kind of sideways.
Parallel to each other.
Yep.
Yep. All
And
right.
then that gap's important. That's where all the air is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
You put your starter log in there, light that baby on all four corners, and then you take the other logs, and if your fireplace isn't deep enough, you can angle them. But it's like Lincoln logs. You run them perpendicular, also parallel with the gap in the middle, so you keep that chimney going through there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to have fun, you just put one more crossbody on top to get that real nice tall flame.
Okay.
You let that baby go.
So I think this is where maybe I've made a mistake in the past.
Okay.
I want to get that starter going, and then I need to get some wood right on top of that thing.
Yeah. It
And you're
does
saying-
need, it needs to touch it. So the second layer,
Yeah.
they need to be close enough together that it's going to create a draft, and that it's going to touch that starter log flame.
Okay.
And then the base ones are going to get the flames just
From
because
the
that starter
sides,
log
right.
is right there next to it.
Right. Okay.
But if it touches the wood, it's like a giant match.
Yeah.
That's all you're trying to do.
I feel like we should produce some type of like little quick and dirty short video.
That'd be
like
cool.
Winston, how to build a fire.
Oh man.
You go here and do this, and here you go, and then you just show it like just raging at the
Look
end.
at this.
Just comes to life. All right, building a fire. That's a really good one.
Thanks, man.
I am convicted by that.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Glad I'm
go.
here.
I'm gonna go with another really easy, what I think is a low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I think every Southern man needs to know how to drive a manual transmission
Amen to
vehicle.
that.
You gotta be able to work a stick shift.
Is that just an ego talking? Because you
No.
don't have to.
No.
You definitely need to know how to drive a manual if you're a Southern gentleman.
I believe that, but now I'm asking myself, why do I believe that?
Yeah.
And I don't know that I have a good answer for that. Why should?
Are there more manuals or stick shifts in the South? It does. I'll say this. The reason I learned on a manual,
Me too.
and I would lobby for every 16-year-old to learn on a manual.
I agree.
Because you learn the car, you learn how it works, how it operates, and you can't do anything else except drive it while you're driving.
Caroline's your oldest.
Amelia.
Amelia's your oldest. So Amelia turns 15,
Yeah.
gets her permit.
Yeah.
You think you're going to buy her a stick shift?
Maybe. Maybe.
I'm going to bet against that right now.
I'm going to refer to this podcast and say it's a
In 5
necessity.
years.
It's a necessity.
None.
No, it's good. It is helpful. The reason I think it's good is because I learned how a car works. I learned what's going on while I'm
Yeah,
driving this thing.
yeah.
It's a big old physical machine that you're working.
You know, something a friend of mine told me,
And it's really fun.
it is super fun,
It is
dude.
so
It's
fun.
super fun.
I remember going from that to my first automatic, and I was bored. I was bored out of my mind driving.
You're definitely more engaged driving a stick shift.
Hey, you become one with
A friend
it.
of mine
like
told me a
Earnhardt.
couple years ago that he would recommend it for new drivers because I saw that, by the way. It's a good one.
And we're talking about.
He would recommend it for new drivers because it keeps both of their hands engaged and
Yeah.
they can't be texting.
That's right.
So it's like
I
you
think it was
gotta
beneficial
be,
to me.
you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be doing this. You
Yeah,
don't,
you're-
you can't reach over and
No, you're working.
yeah.
It's good.
I gotta think about that a little bit more. Why I feel like
Yeah.
that's so important.
It's pretty important though,
But I do think that's of value.
and it's fun.
It is fun. Dude.
I don't have to build a fire every day.
No, but it's
so
fun.
it's the same
dude.
way, but it's fun.
Building a fire is fun.
All right, you ready for this one?
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
ready.
a low hanger fruit.
Okay.
You might have it on yours, but I think every Southern gentleman has to know how to navigate life with a very healthy, good knowledge of etiquette. Etiquette is huge for the Southern gentleman.
Does this go
When you're-
beyond manners?
Um,
Because etiquette is.
I think it's how you hold yourself, how
Okay.
you operate yourself, if you let somebody in or not, if you open the door and hold it, when you're ordering your macchiato. You know, are those people gonna be better off after seeing you that day, or
Yeah.
are they gonna be like, that's the reason I hate this job? So I just think it's really, really easy to be kind. It's not real hard. It's not like a big sacrifice on your part, and it's very respectful to other people. You treat them really well. I think that's one of the, back in our early days when we were kind of defining the Southern gentleman. That's kind of like a big old milestone.
Yeah. I like that one because I think I don't know. I mean, that's definitely it's a soft skill.
It's a soft skill for sure.
There's some emotional intelligence
Yeah.
you have to have in order to operate that way.
Yeah, but whenever I interact with somebody who makes me feel good, like I'm like, oh, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Yeah, I agree. I like that one.
good.
I did have manners on here,
Oh,
but I was trying to think like
You had
how to
6.
articulate that.
etiquette's a bigger umbrella.
Yeah, I agree. But does
You
this
got
go
chivalry
down,
in there. You got that one word that you said one time that I was like, what is that?
What word?
It was like start with an F or an A, or a C. I don't remember. It was our
An F or an A or a C
anyways.
or or one of the other.
All right, what's your
23?
next one?
Hold on,
did have
real
me.
quick though. When you say etiquette, does this extend to like you go to a dinner party and you know which fork to use
No.
on the when they bring you the salad?
No, because I
course?
think you can be charming and mannerly and respectful and whimsical and say, man, I never know which fork to use at these things.
Yeah. So it's not like you're putting a book on your head and walk. It's not that type of etiquette.
No, please don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
All
be
right.
so stiff.
Okay. Well, I could see some old school Southern families going like, we got to send our kids to etiquette school.
True.
And they're walking around with books on their heads and like,
My grandfather,
this is my salad fork.
every time I came in my grandfather's house, he would yell at me to take my hat off indoors.
Oh.
You know, that there's a line somewhere.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
Yeah.
well, have you been to church lately? Everybody's wearing like whatever they want, pajamas.
Yeah. I wore a ball cap to church for the first time in 20 years
Wow.
a couple weeks ago.
How did it feel?
And it was Good Friday. We went to the Good Friday service.
Okay. So not
And
a traditional
Yeah,
Sunday.
and I had been in the office, and I was wearing a ball cap that day, and it was like, I met the family over there because I just drove over and met them, and I was like, and dude, when I wear a hat, like my hair, some dudes look okay if they're wearing a hat all day and they take their hat off, their hair looks great.
Okay.
Mine is not that way. Mine's
really?
all like matted and pushed together, and
Okay.
it's all weird. And so I was like, I don't want to take my hat off.
Yeah.
And I leaned over to Kimberly. I was like, is it okay
Yeah.
that I'm wearing my hat in here? And she was like, yeah, look around.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were 10 or 12 other hats in there.
Yeah.
So
Probably
But
a
it-
Titans jersey.
it did feel a little weird, though.
It does.
That's a good one. Okay. I think every Southern man should know how to do this.
Okay. Every time you say this, I think I'm going to have it on my list.
I think you should be able to make a go-to cocktail.
Oh, that is totally you. You're right.
And it doesn't have to be. Now, I feel like I need to disclaim this one too. If you're like someone who struggles with alcohol,
Yeah.
you're maybe in AA, obviously, this is not a skill you need.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend this.
Yeah.
But I do think to be able to go into someone's home or a shindig somewhere, or even somebody comes over to your house, and to be
Yeah.
able to make them one thing.
That recipe that you have in
Yeah,
your
you're
head.
like, I can make a great classic
Yeah.
gin martini, or I can make a Manhattan, or I can make a,
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
I think to have one go-to, similar to the grilling the meats,
Yep.
that I'm going to be able to make one thing and it's delicious.
You're right.
And here you go. I can serve this to you.
Yeah. So it's more than pouring a bourbon because you've got a cocktail is that you're mixing more than one ingredient.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be complicated.
Oh,
We're
no.
not talking
no,
Vucarela.
No. I think
I mean, you could do a vodka soda with a lime.
you could. I would
But you would be
maybe-
disappointed.
Yeah.
You
I
would be disappointed
I would be.
if that was your
I
party.
would be. I don't know. I mean, if it were, I've never had a vodka soda with a lime.
That is,
Maybe it's delicious.
I
I
think
don't
I
know.
believe you. I think I believe you.
I've never had it.
I know you don't. You're not a vodka guy.
I'm not a vodka guy.
I've been making a lot of Vespers lately
Is that a vodka drink?
for my wife. 2 parts gin, 1 part vodka, and then a little bit of Lillet Blanc.
It has gin and vodka.
Oh, it's wild. You would, I don't know if you'd like it. It's a dry. It's the original James Bond martini.
A Vesper?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then you do a little lemon twist, and that's my wife's favorite drink.
Now when you say James Bond, did he order a Vesper?
Mm-hmm.
He ordered a Vesper.
I don't
in
know if
some
that's
of
what
the
he
older
said
movies?
out
Okay.
loud.
Yeah.
But it's just it's what Rachel tells me. You have to ask her.
She would know. I would think she would
She's
know.
so James Bond.
But I think you need to make one drink.
It's good. I am excited about my next one. Because it's so random. This is the most random one I have. I think every Southern gentleman, it would behoove you to know how to do this. You should be able to operate a trailer. Backing up a trailer and driving a trailer.
Dude, that's...
You, maybe more than driving a manual, but like if you can drive a trailer, you've done some stuff. If you can put that trailer back in your driveway and back it up the driveway, you've done some stuff. Like, I think it's good.
I love the way you have said you've done some stuff.
You have done some stuff. You did something in high school.
Yeah.
That reflects some experience. You know?
Are you a good trailer driver?
I like to think so. I still get confused, which way to...
You got to kind of start out.
It's opposite.
I always have to start...
So that you know.
And then go a little bit slow. Okay, now I got it. But then once I figure out, now wait a minute, which way? Oh, there it is. Then I'm good.
Yeah.
Then I'm good.
Yeah.
Are you, I think these things might be connected. Are you also a good parallel parker?
Man, I'm not as good in my full-size truck, which makes sense. I haven't gotten great at that yet. It's a long truck.
I'm gonna say
But
right
if I'm
now,
in a sedan or my old Tacoma,
yeah,
I could whip it in and it feels good to nail it the first time.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Or you're amazing at it.
I'm an amazing parallel parker. It is kind of one of my unsung gifts, skills.
Even if you're in a rental, it doesn't matter the car.
Doesn't matter.
You know.
Doesn't matter.
You've got it locked in.
I've got it dialed.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're such a Southern gentleman.
I don't know what it is about the
just
way
works
my
for
brain
you.
works. I'm like, I know how to angle pulling up,
Yeah.
how far to pull past, how to angle it back.
Yeah.
And I'm just
don't over
And
correct coming in.
I'm back in. I would say 9 out of 10. It's a one try, and I'm boom.
That's
I'm
the best.
Fast and done.
And you're probably good with somebody sitting behind you waiting too, like the pressure.
yeah.
The pressure.
Yeah.
You like the pressure?
I don't love it,
Yeah, it's like.
but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Because you're confident.
No, yeah, I'm like, I know I'm gonna nail this.
I'm gonna nail this.
Yeah, and I also
learned something about you.
because you can get behind people who are gonna parallel park and they take their time, dude.
And you're like, shoot.
oh my gosh, come on.
Shoot.
I know I'm not gonna be that way. I'm quick and efficient. I'm
And
out
you
of
tell
their way.
yourself, I bet they're just thinking, wow, that was amazing. That guy. Thank you. He must have one of those cars that does it by itself. Wow.
That might be a question that we start popping in on like a lightning round with a guest is, are you a good parallel parker? Rate your parallel parking skills.
It's good. And then do your wife's.
Oh, man.
What?
She would be terrible at that. My wife is not a good parallel parker.
Yeah, I don't know about Rachel. I don't know. She might surprise me.
Are you always, when you guys travel, when you guys get in a car?
Always driving.
Me too.
And
Does
it throws me
Me too.
when I wave at the husband and he's like hanging out.
And he's in the passenger side. And she's driving. It weirds me out to see a couple.
I drive so Rachel can be on Instagram, basically. That's why I drive.
But
I'm
you've
kidding.
been married for 15
That's a joke.
years, but you've always driven.
Always. But
Me
I grew up,
too.
but that was the same, that's how I've always seen it.
You know what? Me too. My dad always drove. All right. Who is it? Is it me or you?
It's
were
you,
the
bro.
trailer. You were the trailer?
We're on number 4.
Here's one I'm not. Here's the one I'm not. Okay, I'm going to skip. I'm going to save that one for last.
Mm. The suspense is just palpable.
I think every Southern man should know how to tell a good story. And here's the thing I'm going to add in there.
That was my last one.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to talk about it.
But I think you to tell a good story, you have to give yourself permission for a bit of embellishment.
Mm-hmm.
A great story is never 100% true.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we give ourselves a pass, like, because I do want to be a man who tells the truth.
Right.
But when it comes to like a really good story,
Yeah. Caught that fish.
I think it's okay
Yeah.
to bend the rules
Yeah.
of truth telling just a little bit.
What are the elements of a good story? Because I had this on the list, but it was the one that I'm not great at. I'm not great at it. I start thinking, man, I think they're bored.
I think you have to be enthusiastic about the story you're telling.
Yeah. Believe it.
Yeah.
Are you selling it?
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that
I
fish
think-
was huge.
I
Fought him for
think-
30 minutes.
I also think, I don't know that there are, I think back, does every good story does it have to have an element of humor?
No,
You don't think so?
it doesn't have to. Not every great story.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I like it, though. It's one of my favorite elements.
Yeah.
If you can throw a little
Yeah,
humor
yeah,
in there.
yeah,
Even if
yeah.
it's a sad story, you just blend it in and you can enjoy all the flavors.
Yeah. That was said so well.
Man, I must be a storyteller.
Even blended in there. I don't know.
I do think you're a good storyteller, though.
But it's one of those things, dude. I'm not sure. See, I'm second guessing myself because I say every man should know how to do that, every Southern man. But I'm not sure it's something you can learn.
Oh, really?
I don't know that it is.
You either are or you aren't?
I think you either are or you aren't.
Well, that's sad. So I'm not.
I'm not saying you're not.
Nothing you
I'm
can
not
do
saying
about
you're
it.
not. I'm not saying you're
There's
not.
no storytelling school. I'm going to work on it.
I think it's just an innate thing.
Okay.
It's probably more so a product of your environment.
Yeah.
I grew up
And personality.
I grew up with people
Who could tell a good one?
who could tell good stories,
Right.
and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can learn it.
Okay. I'm going to work on it, and then I'll ask you if I've gotten better at it 6 months from now.
You should come in. We should do a whole episode about there should be one story that you're going to tell.
That's good. That's good.
One story.
And I'm going to see if I can keep your attention the whole time.
Yeah.
And then you critique me.
And part of it, I think, also has to do with, like, the life that you've lived. Here's what I mean by that. If you've never had something
done some
crazy
stuff.
or weird
You've done
happen
some
to you,
Yeah. Say that again.
If you've never had anything crazy or weird happen to you, what are you going to tell a story about?
Well, aren't those comedians, though? They take an everyday story and they make it hysterical.
That's true.
So I still think you could take the mundane.
Yeah.
And that's the,
Yeah.
that's the true imprint
Yeah.
of a
Yeah.
storyteller.
Yeah.
Man, I was just on the elevator
Listen,
and I hit that button.
don't tell that one.
And
Don't tell that. I will say this
just
is
went up.
This has nothing to do with this, but it just reminds me. And I took a video of it on my phone yesterday.
Oh, go.
I was driving to get some lunch, and I was at a stoplight, and a dude pulls up next to me. He was in a little black Mercedes. He was quite old. I'm going to say mid-60s.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't want that to be offensive, but like he was
Quite
older.
old.
He had scraggly, kind of balding hair. You know,
Yeah.
you could tell he was older. He was at the red light messing with, he had probably 4 or 5 thick gold chains
Yeah.
around his.
Yes.
He was wearing a suit jacket,
Yeah.
a button-down shirt, had huge chains, and he started playing with the chains and like resituating them, and he was looking at them in the mirror. And dude, as he was doing it, he had big gold rings on every single finger of both hands.
No, he didn't.
And I'm sitting there looking at this, going like, "Where?" I mean, he's wearing
where are
like
you going?
wire rim glasses, older guy,
Where are you
suit
going?
jacket,
Yeah.
and just gold,
gold out.
everywhere. Gold out.
What is
I
he?
took a video
Yeah.
without him knowing, because I was like,
Yeah, you're
I
not
wanted
in-
to follow him. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Where's he going?
He's not in Rutherford County.
No,
for
then
sure.
he's situating his gold chains, and he's got big, huge gold rings on. I mean, thumbs, everything.
Thumbs too.
Thumbs. It
Bro,
was wild.
Was this a convertible?
No,
That is wild.
it was just like a little. I don't. What's like the smallest Mercedes? E.
C.
C. Mm-hmm. It was like a little C class,
Mm-hmm.
4-door.
Yeah. All that matches though. It all goes together.
Does it?
I mean, it'd be weird if he was driving like a Pontiac.
I don't know.
That'd be a different.
I thought it was funny.
That was a great story, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I was
appreciate
listening
that.
to every word.
Yeah.
This is my last one because
Okay.
storytelling was
All right.
on mine. I'm not
Okay.
great at it,
All right.
but I think it's necessary. Every Southern gentleman needs to know how to operate a firearm and hit a target. They need to know how to shoot straight.
Okay. This was on mine, so you took one of mine. So I'm gonna have to go to my Audible.
Oh my!
I agree with you. Here's the one thing I don't
Yeah,
necessarily
jump
agree
in.
with.
Yeah. Okay.
Is hitting the target. I do believe.
So it's very necessary to be able to to shoot
hold
a
on.
gun, but you don't have to really hit what you're
No,
intending
no,
to
no,
hit.
no. Listen. Listen, Linda, listen. Here's my point.
Oh man.
What I had written down is I do believe you should be able to confidently, safely use a very specific firearm. And
Okay.
in my example, a shotgun.
Okay.
And you should be able to operate it with confidence in a safe way. So here,
Okay.
And so here's the point.
I agree. Safety first.
Here's where I'm kind of going with it. I think you should be able to go out there with some buddies and shoot skeet or go quail hunt or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be the best shot, and that's okay, I think.
Okay. I'm in.
But if you can operate and maneuver safely and confidently, even if you're not a great shot.
I'm totally in, dude.
Yeah.
Because you know why? If you're a great shot, but you don't know how to do it safely, I'm not going with you.
Exactly.
I don't want to go.
Exactly.
Sorry.
But I don't know that I'm a great shot, but I think I'm a good hang, and I'm going to be safe, and I'm not over here like, how do you load this? I don't understand. I know what I'm doing.
I'm changing mine from shooting straight to shooting safe.
I love
gummit.
that. I love that. You get where I'm going. Like,
I didn't think about that.
I don't know that you have to be a great shot. I just think you need to be able to operate safely, and you need to be able to know what you're doing, act confidently.
I totally agree with that.
And so I can go out there and still have a good time, and everybody's going to feel safe, and I know what I'm doing. I just might not be able to hit a bunch of targets.
Yeah. So familiarize yourself with your gun.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to operate it safely.
Yep.
Every Southern gentleman.
And I think the shotgun is the big one.
That's the gun that you associate with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It makes sense.
Like, I don't know that I would say, oh, every Southern man needs to know how to run a pistol, you know.
I mean, I can't think of a country song that talks about ARs, but they all talk about shotguns.
Yeah. But they also talk about rifles.
Yeah,
That's
that's
30-06 with a,
yeah.
I forget.
My
how it's-
shotgun.
Yeah, it's a shotgun. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was so good. We're so connected
So
on that.
good. We're so
you won me
connected.
over.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to my Audible for
All
my
right.
last one.
Omaha.
Which, this is the one that this is the one I'm the least confident in.
Okay. By what? How do you mean that? Like you actually being able to do it,
Yeah.
but you're very confident that it's necessary. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I'm excited.
I think you should be able to clean and process an animal.
Ooh, gee.
And I think it's kind of open as to which animal that might be.
Ooh, man.
So I think it could be a deer. I think
very
it could
intimidated
be,
by it
I
right
think
now.
it could be a duck. I think it could be a turkey. And I've done it. But like if you brought a deer in here right now, or even if you brought a turkey, I think are pretty easy.
Yeah.
It would take me a minute. I'd have to go to a YouTube video to
Yeah.
refresh my memory.
Right.
I would love to be able to just go, no, I know exactly what to do. Here's how we do it.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep.
Here are back straps. Here's the loin. Here's the
Yeah.
Here are the breast out of the turkey. Here are the legs.
Yeah. Man, yeah,
I'm
I
not
agree.
confident in it.
I'm not either, but
I'm not.
what about fish? Do you know how to catch, clean, fry?
Nope.
I don't either.
Nope.
Never cleaned a
My sons do, but I don't.
I used to go down to the Gulf with my uncle growing up every year, and he would do the cleaning, like mahi and stuff, and it was amazing to watch. It
Oh, I bet.
was amazing to
I
watch.
bet.
And then he'd wrap it with bacon, toothpick it, throw it on the grill.
Yeah.
With some lime. God, it was so good.
Oh, I would.
But he was great at it with fish. I've never cleaned a fish. With birds, the smaller the bird, the more I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, when I took my 14-year-old and we went quail hunting and we got some pheasant and some chucker.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
they were like, "You want us to do these?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I'm not confident in that stuff.
I'm not. The deer stuff, I've never even killed a deer. Don't get mad at me. I'm not an imposter. But that's big.
Yeah, I do think you should know how to do that.
I'm in. I'm convicted.
We got to learn.
Here's my last. This is an honorable mention, so
Okay.
I've done my 4 to 5.
All right.
I think every Southern gentleman needs to know how to. I think they should have jumper cables in their car or truck, and I think they should know how to jump off a car.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that is like. That is. I dream about helping somebody out on the road and being able to get their car started. It sounds so great.
You dream about it?
Isn't that great?
Have you ever had to help somebody?
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling when you do.
It's pretty basic.
I would categorize this for everything. It's a good feeling when somebody needs you to do something and you know how to do it confidently.
Right.
And you're like, yep, know exactly. Pull it up here, lift them, connect this, red to red, black to black.
Yeah.
Start your engine.
Now, I've also done it before in a parking garage, and it didn't turn on. It wasn't the battery.
Okay.
You know, and you're like...
then it's an alternator. That's when you know it's an alternator.
It's tough to tell. Tough to tell.
If it ain't the battery, it's the alternator.
It's got to be the alternator. You're going to take down to that store.
Would you throw
jumper
changing
cables.
a tire in that same category?
I almost did, but I think it's because I'm not confident. I'm about as confident with that as cleaning a turkey. I'd have to
Really?
I'd have to figure it out. I know you can do it. I know you're really good at
man.
it. So you have to show me. I just don't believe that little jack that comes with the car is actually going to hold it.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it.
Those things are made specifically for that
Okay.
vehicle.
Okay.
They're going to work just fine. You got to know where to put the jack,
Right. On the frame somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
but you'll be just fine changing a tire.
Okay. I went for
Super
I went
easy.
for the low one, jumper cables.
Yeah. But I think that's a good thing to know how to do.
Yeah. It's very it's like it's the first thing that you do.
Don't cross your wires,
No, keep them apart.
dude.
Yeah. Keep them apart and don't cross them.
And don't hook the red to the black.
Do not do that.
Don't do that. They make them color coded for a reason.
Yeah.
This was good.
This is a good one. I think we got some good energy and some good oh yeah, I could get better at that.
Yeah.
So,
When are we actually going to get better at it, though?
well, I'm going to tell you a story every day for the next 6 months.
I'm gonna find an animal to clean
every day. Let me reach in here. I'm getting a little low on the mailbag.
Yeah, we need to put another call out. We did that episode, had like 5 or 6.
We've already done this, right?
Yeah. Did we put them back in there?
I don't know. Somebody did. Let's see what we got here. Heather in Michigan. Yankee here. Steaks or barbecue?
Heather's my cousin. I think
Okay.
Heather has submitted a lot of questions.
That's a good one.
Steaks or barbecue? Ooh. I don't know.
Oh, I'm typically. I feel like they're in different classes. Even if I have the opportunity to go with a steak or barbecue, I'm going to go steak.
I think I'm going to go barbecue.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I've never
Pulled
had
pork, chicken?
Mhm, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never had a steak that I've had great steaks. I
Yeah.
love steak.
Yeah.
I've never tasted a steak that I said, this changes the way I think about steaks.
Okay.
I have tasted barbecue
Yeah.
that changed the way I thought about barbecue.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never tasted anything like this. I don't know.
That's
I don't
good.
know how somebody did this.
Well, there's room for more creativity with barbecue.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Your steak's kind of narrow, I guess. I mean, unless you get, but then, outside the toppings or something, or the sauce that you get with it.
Yeah.
But barbecue's pretty. It's a little more artsy, a little more artful.
I will never forget the first time I had. Do you know Rodney Scott? You know what I'm talking about? Rodney Scott's barbecue.
Okay, no.
Rodney originally was like Westminster, South Carolina. I never went to his place, but he cooked in like a cinder block building.
Yeah.
In Westminster, South Carolina. I think that's where it
Sounds
was.
great. Yeah.
And then his building burned down. This has been probably 15 years ago. And when it burned down, he I think had some insurance problems.
Yeah.
And so to raise money to rebuild, he traveled around the Southeast and he hooked up with chef friends.
Oh, wow.
And they did like one-off events in different cities.
Yeah. Like
And
pit barbecue stuff?
Like
restaurant?
Like when he came to Nashville, he cooked with Pat Martin of Martin's Barbecue and Sean Brock, who was at Husk at the time.
Well, that's a great barbecue.
And Sean made his fried chicken, and Pat made his brisket,
Yeah.
and Rodney did a whole hog
Golly.
pulled pork. And dude, I stood there watching him do it. And when I tasted that pork, I was like, I don't know how somebody
can do that
so
well.
And it changed the way I looked at pulled pork.
Yeah.
And I've never had that experience with
You're
steak.
swaying me today, man. You're swaying me.
I'm just saying.
I don't have a steak story like that. It's not that experiential.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I haven't either.
You don't do a whole cow.
I've not had a...
There's something about barbecue that's untouchable.
Fried chicken to me is the same way.
Well, barbecue is a bunch of different things. You could throw catfish in there and still call it barbecue.
Could you?
Corn fried? Yeah.
I don't know. Can you call catfish barbecue?
Well, I see it the most at barbecue places.
That's true.
Cornmeal catfish.
I love good catfish.
I do too.
I love a good catfish.
Actually,
man.
if I go to a barbecue place, I look for that catfish.
Really?
With the tartar and a lemon. I can't pass it up. I
didn't know that about you.
I'll ask
You're
for
a
that
catfish guy.
I love catfish. With that cornmeal fried peppery.
Yeah.
And it stays hot. I don't know how, but it stays hot forever.
Piping hot.
Forever.
Yeah. Piping hot. I guess all that cornmeal and the oil
Just
like
keeps it
seals
in there.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Dadgum, I need some catfish now.
Well, thanks, Heather, but I'm gonna stick with steak.
I'm gonna go barbecue on that one.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Is that it for this week? That's it. If you want a hat, or let me say, if you want the opportunity,
You're such a teacher.
at a hat, because we will have more people subscribe to the email than there are hats available.
Right.
But that
So
list,
then that link goes out.
That list will get first dibs.
I'm kind of nervous after all this buildup.
TheSouthernGentleman.com.
001.
Join the email list, and you will be one of the first people to get that link.
Love it. All right, you've heard him speak. If you don't understand it, I don't think I can help. Because he explained it really well.
You know what to do.
You know what to do. Subscribe, like, share, give us some feedback, and most importantly, keep coming back, y'all.
Keep coming back. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out the other videos on our channel, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos.
And if you're tired of seeing our faces talk, you can go the audio only route and catch us on Apple and Spotify. If you do that, be sure to subscribe, give us a rating and a review so that we can reach more people.
See y'all next week.